me down with your level 10 or level now 11 Queen of Pain, I'm gonna be okay.
I mean, how are they gonna close the distance with a hero like Clockwork? The best thing that he can do is that he creates that buffer, that barrier zone, right?
Right.
And you have heroes like MMY that can just sit back and wait for them to initiate on Burning. Burning, all he has to do is wait for the fight to come to him. He just kind of sits in the back, waits half a beat, lets the fight begin without him. Super leads the fight. If Super dies, it doesn't even matter. He's got a BKB too, so he's not going to. And so I think I completely agree with this decision. He has enough heroes to kind of just buffer damage.
And even if he does get caught out, you have allies that come in from afar. The Clockwork, like you said, to kind of disengage for you. You have the mech, you have the blinding light from the Keeper. So he definitely does have a ton of protection. And now DK says, hey guys, I'm going straight into the Roshan pit. You guys see me. You guys have wards here. I don't care. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, definitely.
There's really not much they could do about it.
Yeah, Burning, you know what he should do? He should just
go Divine.
Yeah, he should definitely go
No,
Divine.
I think that's
I'd like
how you
to see
throw a
that.
game. It's like a one game, and well, you have the Aegis. Maybe you just do go Divine. I mean, what the hell they're gonna do?
Yeah, what's gonna stop you? You put out so much damage that as soon as the fight starts, any sort of fight you start, you just kind of lose. But at the same time, it's such a scary item
It's
to
taking
go.
a necessary risk for absolutely no reason.
No, there is a reason. Style points.
Well, it's like you said, he's found the hood, so the real Doug would actually do.
Yeah,
just go
I mean, what's the
Divine.
point in winning if you don't win with style?
There you go.
And Burning's a player that definitely has style, right?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I could agree with that because it's definitely one of your safest players ever. You know, don't go for the big throws. I don't think Burning and the word throw has ever been in the same sentence.
Yeah,
so.
he's one of those players that just plays really safely, great game sense, realizes where to be at all times. That should be an MKB. Please prove me
MKB?
wrong.
I want to be proven wrong as well. It's like one of those times that Burning just goes Divine and whatever else. Huntrash Pearl, though, he's got that vid booster. He's now up to another 1,000 gold. He's getting closer and closer to that Manstyle. But for me, that Manstyle isn't actually a successful team fight item. It's like you said, there's so much AoE coming out on the Radiant team that those Manta Illusions is going to be dead. What I think it's really going to be used for is a way to debuff, a way to split push, and sometimes you're going to get a couple more hits
Oh,
against
MMY
Illusion.
at bottom.
He's going to get lifted up. He's going to get tossed back. There is a Vendetta. There's a Dust coming out right now, but there's no more stuns, and he's going to just walk out. Here comes ROTK. Can he find the hook? He's juking to the right side, trying to get the proper angle. He will. Well, there's going to be trap used, and actually MMY is going to get forced that forward. You go for Ling here. Impaled's going to get broken out, and Ling is going to be dead. So a gank that goes on MMY gets turned back against, and I think this is their avenue into the high ground if that's what they want. If they want to get the high tier 2 on the top, they could do that as well. But no, they want the high ground. They say this should be a Rex.
Yeah, and Burning's actually going to get TP'd in as well. He's still got the Aegis. He's getting an MKB delivered to him right now.
Is it going to get delivered? TFG trying to make some plays, but unfortunately he's got no damage. Man, 22-minute Nature's Prophet cannot kill a courier. That's some sad life here. And Winter gets going to get impaled up. He's going to be dead for sure. That Cog has some sick range, and they're going to get him down then. Yeah, I think this is formality at this point here. Burning, working on that melee racks, and the melee racks not long for life.
Yeah, and they even fourth the top tower just to piss off Huntrash player, who absolutely has to do this right now. Taking a fight with his team without a Rubik.
I mean, there's no way, right?
Yeah, exactly. So this isn't a fight that you can really take. Burning just continues to farm. After that set of racks, he's got 2.3k after just buying his MKB.
Although they're going to try to get another gank attempt on MMY. Regardless of how many times or how this games go, they're at least going to try their best to kill MMY a couple of times. It's just unsuccessful because the 4-staff is doing so much work. Clockwork Hook's going to re-engage against TFG. Can you send him back out in time? No, RTK in bigger trouble because Anti-Mage has now blinked into position. Double 2-man impale. They're going to focus on TFG.
Burning gets TP'd.
And Burning. Here he comes. Man, the damage call down, the flax, everything from Burning. They actually do re-grab the gem as well. They didn't even have to use a mech from QQQ, and I do believe they could just walk back from the bot lane and go mid, or they could just go down the mid lane. Anything they want to do, they can do.
Yeah, at this point, it doesn't quite matter. Burning doesn't even have his MKB on him yet. And he's got 3.2k on top of that, and he's already putting out damage.
I think the game is telling Burning, man, you have a lot of times to go into the secret shop, sitting close to that 3,800 gold.
What's going to kill you, Burning?
I know. He literally actually isn't in the start of the fight. He gets recalled in the middle. Like, he's in the absolute safest position ever, so.
Yeah, and Nyx actually has a 4-staff as well. They have 2 4-staffs to save him, a mech.
Yep.
They've got a bunch of stuns, no BKBs on MUFC.
Blinding Light is another cell.
I mean, come on. If there's a game to do it, it's this one.
It's this one, man. But how bad would it be if it was like you get that Divine, your
And then
Aegis
you just
runs
lose?
out, and then like they...
Oh, okay, he's going.
Sell that Crawling Blade.
Oh, he's gonna do it.
My man Burning.
Oh, no.
What? What a juke! What a fucking juke!
Wow, we got juked. He definitely, oh man. He set it up perfectly too.
Yeah.
3,700 gold.
Sells the Crawling Blade. I thought it was like, oh man, he's not making space because he needed that gold.
What a player,
I'm
though.
very disappointed.
DK Burning, faking us out.
Yeah.
He could have just sent the courier to get it if he was gonna do that.
Nope. He knows we're watching. You know we're watching. Super has the Desolator finish as if they need even more damage. They have it now, and that tier 3 tower. What is the last hurrah going to be here coming out from MUFC? Because they're not tapping out just yet. They're going to go right on Burning, but he's still got the Aegis. Anti-Mage blinks back out. Oh my god. Just one call down, a couple more flags, and everybody's dead. Nice 4-staff forward against Ling. Ling mechs himself up, but just not enough. And Burning is actually dropping quite low. Aegis, though, is it running out anytime soon? I don't think so. Or does it even matter? Oh, he eats a Sonic Wave, I guess.
I think the Aegis was about to, no, he had a lot of time. Never mind.
Fine. Meanwhile, Winter, they force that 4 here against Winter, though, but in fact, they want MUFC's on Trash Pro. Everybody's blinking away, everybody's surviving. They're actually going to get 1 kill on QQQ, but he's out of mana at this point, and that means he's a dead man. Does he have Magic Wand charges? No, he doesn't. Boom. Buyback coming out from Anti-Mage as well, but this is trash time, as you call it. This is DK Burning, padding his stats, 6, 0, and 5, 230 CS. What's his GPM? I'm very curious. I quickly check out here.
His gold per Ninit?
Yep.
I said Ninit. It's 670. He's doing pretty well at this point in the game. I mean, nothing is really slowing him down. This game just... MUFC had a nice, decent hurrah, but the game was so lost already just because the Chen wasn't able to set up anything. They had an aggressive lineup without a whole lot of disables, and that's what you need, really, if you want a team fight. You need big AoE spells with a lot of disables to make comebacks, or you just need to outplay your opponents, but DK played so safe.
Yeah, it didn't seem safe the way that they laned it, but it actually worked out so well, and it worked out for the best here for DK as well. And here comes Shadowcopter getting ready to do the last push. I mean, DK is so damn ahead right now. They're ahead by like 15,000 gold. But like, yeah, we'll defend our towers. DK is one of those teams that notorious to say that even when we're about to rax you, we don't let you to get that tier 1.
You know what's really hurt TFG this game? The amount of TPs he's bought. Just because, yeah, because he's just had to, he's like, well, one wave my TP gets canceled, then I'll have the backup. And he's got an ultimate orb at 27 minutes with the Hand of Midas. He's getting kind of close to that Hex, which they absolutely need to fight. But even with that...
I don't think Hex does it.
Yeah, there's a Satanic on Burning.
I mean, I almost say at this point here, you go Acceptor just to get a little bit more counter push. And then get a refresher after that and be like, hey guys, let's just go deep. Because nothing else... you actually can't even take a head-to-head team fight anymore at this point for MUFC. So maybe you should get a little bit more creative with the build. But I don't think he's going to have the time for it. Because here comes Burning. He's actually in front of the team for once in his life. And looks like this Rax is going to be going down.
Yeah, 2k HP on top of a Satanic, and there's only 1 disable on MUFC.
Yep.
This is a perfect situation for him to just kind of run forward.
Burning is just going to be flacking off. And oh my god, look at the Chen creeps. Look at everybody else that's just dying. The Rockets going forward. Burning says, I want the Rax. They're going to focus on these illusions as well. They do get them. And well, Super is also going to make the process a little bit quicker, a little bit less painful by dropping that -7 armor on those buildings. Winter's going to initiate it on a couple of right clicks. He's just dead. One hit from Burning, 300 damage. And Contrash Pro is going to blink back out. And he tries his best to kind of distract him and whatnot. And it feels like DK is just... They have this giant fly swatter. Is that what's called?
Yeah, Fly Swatter.
Is it fly swatter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why do you just...
That makes too much sense.
You're just...
It's like sometimes I try to like do this thing called English, and it's like so ambiguous.
It's like a breadstick though, right? Because it perfectly describes what it is.
Right.
Fly Swatter. So I guess that's
Why
what confused you.
breadstick?
I don't know.
Is that the first thing that came to your mind?
Yeah, well, because it's one of those terms that perfectly describes what something is, right?
I guess. I never thought of it.
What else could it be? A breadstick? I don't know where I went with this. I hope you understood that, Lumi.
I mean, when you have two Asians talking to each other, only the selective feel could get what we're talking about.
Yes. We are different Asians, though. That's the thing that really hurts us. But anyways, Handamite is going to come back up for TFG. I don't actually know what he's bought. Maybe he's got the Void Stone? No.
He's bought back, I think, maybe?
Just has no money right now, and trying to use his ultimate to try to get as much farm as he can, but this game seems all but a formality. Burning just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yep. And there's really... He hasn't died once. He's not going to get stopped. Is DK really waiting for the next Aegis? Knowing DK, that's exactly what they're waiting for. It's like, guys, let's get some more GPM. Let's make sure that we don't, give up any kills. Yeah. And well...
But FZFZ does finish his Hex, is going for the BKB. The thing about getting a BKB against a lineup like this at this point, you absolutely have to against Clockwork. The Nyx Assassin Mana Burn, plus the Mana Leak, is the most annoying thing in the world to an anti-mage. But at the same time, Burning, he just does so much damage.
Surviving is not enough at this point, right?
Yeah,
Like,
the physical damage is just too much at this point.
well, I mean, MUFC not tapping out just yet, despite all the odds are against them. Glyph is going to get forced out, so their time is running out. They got to make...
They have to go now.
Yeah, they have the Hex, so there's also no Aegis. Also, there's no BKB on Gyrocopter. They do snipe him up.
From behind.
Where's the lift? They do lift him up. Swallow the Chainsun's not there, but the Force Sap back out. The mech kills. Everything's there. Contrast Bro drops a Mana Void, but Burning had all the mana in the world against him, and he's now going to right-click, where Contrast Bro actually blinks back out. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but it's not enough. Super full HP. Burning full HP. They see the exposed racks. They will take the exposed racks, and Clockwork is just fountain diving time at this moment. And that's all she wrote.
Yeah, what a dominant performance by DK. Gonna take Mega Creeps.
Yep.
If you had to use one word to describe this win, it's methodical. DK went from, they did the dual lane setup that usually is kind of a little wonky. You usually see the 3-1-3 or something similar to that, but they realized that this is a game where they can actually get away with just doing dual lanes. And they completely neutralized the Chen. The supports for MUFC just didn't do anything this game. They weren't able to. They're completely isolated out.
To me, this game just fully describes how DK generally plays. They always bring their A game. They don't mess around. They don't actually fold to the pressure. I mean, we were waiting for Burning to get that Divine, almost jokingly, but that was probably one of the worst items he could have gotten in that chance, right? So right now we just have Fountain Diving time as Burning is just going to work. And, I mean, methodical, like you said, they took every tower with absolute safety. They took every Roshan with absolute safety, and they just kind of power drive their way to get a couple of Raxes, and that was it.
Yeah, this isn't a team that's flashy. You know, it's not like a Team Liquid where Korok would definitely have gotten the Divine. Yeah. It's one of those teams that they're like, okay, this is what we need to do to win. We'll go tower to tower. Burning will farm behind this. We'll have insurance measure after insurance measure. So
except that one team fight where they try to punk them.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
but I can appreciate that, because if you win that fight, then you essentially win no matter what, right? And it wasn't even the worst thing, because
it was
the
a
anti-mage died.
trade. Yeah, and Burning came in to clean up. So that was an absolute dominant performance coming up from DK. This is the best of 2 series, so Game 2 is coming up next. But before that, let's send it back to the much facial hair analyst table.
We can grow it too if you want.
It'll take us like 15 years.
Keep telling yourselves that, guys.
Not only do we have a lot of facial hair, but we speak English quite coherently.
Whoa, I don't know.
Boom! Shots fired.
It's so true. My
is.
grammar is impeccable sometimes.
Yeah, we'll do a high five properly later as well, because that's something else Lumi can't seem to get right. But even though this was quite a one-sided game, Purge, actually I thought DK played really smart in a number of ways, and I'd love to talk about a few of them. So, first of all, Burning's a huge troll for not buying that Rapier. That was amazing to watch.
If those casters would have just checked the courier flying out, though, I'm pretty sure there was a double javelin on it. I mean, I was like, oh man, he is almost at 3,800, but oh, did you?
Yeah.
After.
Yeah. There was a one point
Did
where
you already have MKB at that point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He trolled 2 times. It felt like he was trolling, but you look at this MUFC draft, they were light on team fight control, and I feel a big reason why is because of the smart bans from DK, especially banning out Faceless Void. This is a carry that MUFC loves to run. They had a lot of success with it yesterday. They've been running it for a while, and you remove the Void, MUFC still want to take it somewhat late game, so they go for the anti-mage, but he just doesn't allow you to take the fights, and you look at their lineup, they had a Prophet, a Chen, who else did they have? Rubik, anti-mage, Queen of Pain. They had one actual reliable stun. That's Rubik Lift. No follow-up. Hard for them to take fights, and DK punished that, I felt, through the draft, as well as just the playstyle. Getting heroes like Clockwork, Nyx Assassin.
Yeah.
This lineup for MUFC really wanted to split push, but it's very hard to do that against a Clock and a Nyx, because out of nowhere they come, they gank you, and they kill you.
And that happened a lot of the times when they would initiate on Nyx Assassin. How many times did he almost escape or did actually escape? You'd pop invisibility and run away, and they lift him, and then it was like he just would walk away.
And then it's the wah, wah,
I know.
wah.
You need more disables. I really want to talk about how great the Clockwork Coddle dual lane was. That's normally a matchup where people used to play Clockwork, maybe like a year ago, and sometimes they would end up against an anti-mage, and Clockwork would get absolutely wrecked because he would get his mana drained so fast with the anti-mage. But they just maxed Rocket, and they had a Coddle there, and he could just spam Rocket.
It's
and
so
that's
annoying.
When does anti-mage lose to magic nukes? It almost never happens. But just putting a dual lane there to give them an advantageous matchup just is a huge difference, where normally a free farm anti-mage turns into something that can't do as well.
And the crazy thing about that dual lane is not only can they slow down the anti-mage, but when you've Keeper of the Light and you're maxing Rocket Flare and Clockwork, you can steal the pulls. You can actually get a lot of additional farm and gold experience that normally you won't get. I also look at this draft, and I think Blitz harped on this repeatedly, that MUFC just lacked team fight. And I really got to echo that, not only because I felt they just needed more stuns in general. Like that game, they were just lacking. You're up against a Templar Assassin, a Gyrocopter, heroes that left unchecked, left undisabled, just do too much damage to deal with in the fights. That was the first problem, but also MUFC generally wins when they have team fight. When they fall short in that department, I feel it's a team that struggles, and it's one of the reasons why I think a carry like Faceless Void really is something that they'll be looking towards. But if you don't get the control from your carry, you probably need it for one of those off-laners. Maybe something like a Clockwork for them would have been better than, say, a Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, they did have that one team fight mid where they were able to take out the TA, who was slightly out of position. It was mostly just magic burst, and despite like the mech and the other heals on him, wasn't able to survive. But once he grabs BKB, it's over.
Right.
Like, you're not going to get mana drain from anti-mage. You can burn your refraction shields pretty fast, but who cares, because you won't get bonus from the mana drain. And like, he became invincible at that point. Very, very hard to kill, and MUFC couldn't fight back after that point. Did Burnian even get a BKB? He didn't, right?
No,
he
I don't
just
think
went
so.
damage into a Reaver, and then he got Satanic. In that last team fight, they even threw anti-mage ulti on him. They're like, oh, just kill him, kill him.
Let's do it, guys. Let's go.
He healed through it. It was like, oh, it just did 400 damage and one more auto. There we go, full HP, and GG.
They had no stun, so Bernie made a really smart adjustment. Normally he would go for an early BKB on Gyro. He almost always does that, but didn't need to this game, made the adjustment with his build, really panned out. And the last thing was, well, going Chen against that lineup, you have to do well early, because the creeps are so useless. Keeper of the Light, Illuminate, Flat Cannon, Call Down, Rocket Spam. They die in seconds. So I felt like MUFC just had to get too much accomplished in the laning stage, where it's just not reasonable to expect your team to do that much against a team of DK's caliber. Like, you may win the lanes, but I don't think there's any way they were ever going to win them. It's hard enough to have success with that draft. And on top of that, DK played great.
Yep. So looks like our predictions are all pretty accurate so far. A lot of us said 2-0. Did anyone say 1-1? Is it you?
I said 1-1, and I even said if they get the Chen and they have that early aggressive strategy.
They got the Chen. Not looking good. So
I continue to fail on the predictions
everybody remember this as Game 2 rolls out in a possible 2-0.
It's okay. We have facial hair. We speak good English.
Yeah, but it's looking really good for DK, honestly. I think they were definitely playing a little bit better than LGD was yesterday.
Yeah.
So I think it's still looking pretty good. I'm happy with my prediction.
Of course, they're 2-0 in the group, guys. They have that forfeit win over LGD, and can they continue to pile up the points here today? They've already got 1. Let's see if they can get 2. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, it's going to be Game 2 of Team DK versus MUFC. Stay tuned.
Hey guys, welcome back to MUFC versus DK. This is game number 2 of just 2, right? This is not best of 3 series. For those of you guys that are not familiar with the Alienware Cup format, this is just a group stage, and every match is counting towards points. I am Luminous, more handsome Luminous, which is Blitz.
Thanks for that,
No
Lumi.
problem.
This
No
is the
problem.
first time we've actually casted together. I'm really excited.
Yep.
They've tried to keep the Asians apart, but
Nope.
OTP.
Nope. Wow.
Wow,
Let's leave it
Purge
at
is-
that.
Purge is pretty upset now, but MUFC this time, not going to mess around. They're going to pick up the Darkseer off the bat. I'm actually really surprised that DK banned the Wisp.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that you have adjusted their bans at all. Normally,
Yeah.
you know, what
Keep doing what works.
Yeah, keep doing what works, and what worked was banning out both Darkseer and Huntrash Pearl's Void, because I feel like with these two heroes, that's where they're strongest at. They're basically looking to get the exact same lineup that they had against LG China yesterday in the Game 2 victory, which was Darkseer Void, Queen of Pain Chen, and Rubik.
Yeah.
It seems like the lineup they're most comfortable at, and so far it's still available. But Nyx Assassin is a hero that counters Darkseer to me very greatly. Throughout team fights, you get one mana burn on that hero, and he's done. He's either
Yes.
not activating mech or he's not dropping wall or something
Also,
like that.
whoever, if you Ion Shell,
Uh-huh.
then you just kind of walk next to that person with
Nyx Assassin's Spike.
with the spiked carapace, and DK actually doing the exact same thing as well. They're like, well, it worked for us last game. Burning's a pretty good gyrocopter player. He farms okay.
Yeah. To me, what Gyrocopter gives Burning is so much more lane control in the actual laning phase. He's not as reliant on QQQ or MMY to actually provide that, which they still do a very good job of. But with Flat Cannon, he was able to zone out the Nature's Prophet last game with utmost ease, and he was able to take down Tier 1 tower by himself as well. And not many other heroes like Anti-Mage or your Spectre could do anything similar to that result. Invasion MUFC is going to pick up that Rubik, and I imagine they're going to look towards the Chen, look towards the Void, the Queen of Pain. And for DK, I guess those are targeted heroes to ban them out, or do you feel like there's more dangerous heroes on the map?
No, I think those are good heroes for them to ban out. I think the difficult thing here is that MUFC essentially got, they got canned last
Right.
game. You know, they got punked pretty hard, but this is a style they know how to play, right? Running the Rubik, running the Darkseer. So I think the thing you do here is you don't do anything crazy. You play to your strengths, try to go back at it, adjust your strategy slightly, and try to win off of that, rather than, you know, doing something crazy like picking like a Bloodseeker, Night Stalker lane or
Hey
something
man,
like that.
does go through BKB now.
Yeah, and DK actually going to ban out the Void. I really like that decision too, just because a hero like Void, the best thing it can do is that you can isolate the carry off and make his damage just go away instantly
Right.
with the Chronosphere. All he has to do is target Burning every single time, And it's actually a good hero to play against DK.
I mean, especially the way that they play their Queen of Pain also, which is getting a quick scythe. It forces a carry to have to go to BKB.
Yes.
And that means the Chronosphere counters you that much more. So we're not going to see that this game because obviously Void is banned out. And he's such one of those more unique carries that you can't actually replace him in any way because which other carry has the AoE ult that goes through BKB and stun? But Kunga's going to get taken out here by MUFC. And yeah, I just don't see how MUFC is going to out-carry DK, out-carry Gyrocopter, out-carry Burning. So they gotta do the early aggression. That was Winter's plan, at least walking into today. Game 1, they failed to execute it. In Game 2, well, let's see how they're gonna at least try to execute it. Because again, I think they're gonna stick to that game plan, right? You're not gonna out-carry Burning.
Yeah. It seems like DK, every single time I cast them, they pick the Gyrocopter in the first 2, every single time. It's one of those carries that is so versatile. I mean, if you get a Manta against him, Gyro's useful because of the call down and the flak and the rocket barrage. If you get BKBs, the physical damage from the flak still exists, right?
And
you
the
still
slow
get hit
from
by
the
it.
call down.
Exactly. And on top of that, he's one of those heroes too that if you get he stops both those items, and there's no positioning necessary with him too. As long as he's kind of in range of people, you just flak, hit, ta-da,
Easy mode.
success. Exactly.
And to me, it's also the laning. We saw him go offensive last game, was able to easily dominate lane. Defensive, exact same thing. So many versatile mid-game item builds. We see different things like Shadow Blade, we see BKB, we see MKB. We even saw Helm last game, which is not something we talked about too much, but I felt it was a very nice way to deal with Chen, because you get instant creep in the team fight if that's what you want. He was using it mostly for stacking, which is, you know, another way to accelerate your own farm. But, you know, I imagine he's going to have another big game, but Winter is just going through the motions. He's picking all the heroes that they know they want. Chen is in the pool as well, but look at this long-range barrage that's going to be coming out from DK. Fissure coming out from 1300 range, and of course Illuminate is 1600 range. The hell are you going to do? Like, even heroes like Queen of Pain could easily just get initiated upon by Fissure call down Illuminate, and she's dead.
Yep, I really like the way that DK plays Earthshaker. They use him as kind of the anti-initiate. As soon as anyone goes on DK Burning, they, I don't know why I said DK Burning, I can just say Burning. The Earthshaker just kind of counter-initiates with the stun,
right?
And you can do it from such a long distance off. And then once you do that, the Queen of Pain blinks in to try to initiate on Gyrocopter, then Earthshaker leads with Fissure, then you rocket barrage him to death. It's just so difficult for the Queen of Pain to succeed against a hero like Gyrocopter. It's actually one of those really annoying matchups. Because if you offensively blink, it essentially means you're dead.
Yep.
Especially against heroes like Nyx, where the mana burn does so much.
Or the Spike Carapace, if you're firing off some AoE spells, you're going to be dead as well. So Enchantress instead of Chen. So this might be an adjustment from game number 1 where Chen was only able to do so much with the 1 creep, and Enchantress, you could in theory grab 3 creeps right at level 1 and make something happen. Now the big question is, can you make something happen against one of the best level 1 defensive hero in the entire game, Earthshaker? And I'm not sure.
It's really difficult. It's going to depend on who DK decides to put in that long lane. Because if they can get the pressure going as soon as possible, then they might actually have a lot of success in this lineup.
Any reason not to go clock here for DK? Decent against Enchantress creeps early?
Yeah, it's decent against Enchant. It actually does really well against Darkseer, right?
Right.
You can just kind of isolate him off.
Oh, there's a final ban out from MUFC.
Okay, so it is going to be the Clockwork.
And it's going to be Nature's Prophet.
Yep.
Interesting. I reckon he's actually quite weak, I want to say, against this particular lineup. They could easily blow him up early. Enchantress creep, if you find the correct one, could cancel those TPs. Any reason why you would go Nature's Prophet here?
I think it was kind of the best of a worst situation. Think about the long lane heroes that really succeed right now, right? I mean, you can do Lifestealer. He's pretty successful.
Banned out.
Yeah, Darkseer, Darkseer, which is taken. There's Batrider. There's Clockwork. So who else is kind of left in the pool for DK to go for?
Yeah, Windrunner is not just a successful hero anymore. I mean, you just quote-unquote lane her there, but she's not going to get anything done.
Yeah. As soon as she windruns, the reason why heroes like Rubik and Shadow Demon got really popular was because as soon as you pop something like your defensive ability, then you have an instant...
and then you lift her up.
You have an instant disable.
Well, Weaver is a hero that we've somewhat forgotten about.